Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Pixel and welcome to the Sapphire Tech YouTube channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at Subnautica running on the Sapphire Pulse RX580 graphics card at 1440p. Before we take a quick look at the performance and the game itself, I want to let you guys know that if you are watching this before the 27th of December 2018 or on the 27th of December 2018, you are able to pick up this game for completely free over on the Epic Games Store. If you're someone that plays Fortnite, you will already have an account and the launcher installed, so don't miss out and claim it now. I will explain a little bit more about the game in a moment, but first I want to quickly go over the performance. For the duration of this video, you will see a performance overlay in the top left corner of the screen, and like I mentioned earlier, we are running the game on the Sapphire Pulse RX580 at 1440p, and this is paired with the Intel i9-7900X, which is overclocked to 4.6 GHz. The system also has 32GB of DDR4 memory, and the game is installed onto an SSD. When it comes to the settings, we are playing between high and medium, but with depth of field and screen space reflections turned off. The reason for this is that these options really tank the performance without really adding much whatsoever to the visuals. To be honest, even if I was rocking the RX Vega 56 right now, I would still turn these settings off because I simply can't tell the difference visually, but that can drop your frame rate down massively by as much as 40 to 50% in my own testing. As you will see, we had really zero issues when it comes to holding 60 frames per second while gaming at 1440p, and most of the time we are up in the 80s and 90s, which is very impressive, especially when you consider the scale and the visuals on display. But with that said, let's take a closer look at the game itself. Subnautica is basically your stereotypical survival game, but with three clear distinctions. 1. The majority of the game is played underwater, giving you a cool 6 degrees of freedom. 2. It does not focus on combat, rather your explorable range is determined by your ability to survive. And 3. There is an actual story here and lots of lore, and it really helps pace out the experience. The game starts off with you falling towards an alien planet in an escape pod as a huge starship explodes above your head. As you crash land in the ocean, you unstrap yourself, boot up your PDA, which contains a very helpful little AI program, and then that's it. The game just lets you get on with it. Your only real objective at that point is to survive. Venturing outside of your escape pod, you are welcomed by a beautiful shallow reef and an abundance of cute and wonderful creatures. It all feels rather welcoming actually. At this point, the only thing you really have to do is check your blueprints and start collecting ingredients for random bits of equipment. The first time I played, I spent a good hour in the starting area just getting to grips with all the blueprints, resources and local wildlife. At this point, the game does very little to show you what you're supposed to be doing, so you just work your way through the basic blueprints and crafting your starting equipment. It's not until you've actually crafted the scanner, which is used to find new blueprints, and the repair tool which fixes your life pod's radio, that the game really starts offering you some real progression. For instance, from time to time you will receive coordinates from other life pods over the radio. Upon investigating some of these pods, you will often find new blueprints and PDAs containing audio logs. The game does an awesome job of giving you just enough information to keep you engaged without making what's going on far too obvious. This subtle push in the right direction does a great job of maintaining the pacing and preventing you from pushing too far forward on your own. Like, seriously, I cannot praise this aspect of Subnautica enough. With very few barriers and a huge open world, the developers still manage to direct the play without making it obvious, which is something that almost every single other open world survival game really struggles with. I think that one of the things that really works in Subnautica's favour is the lack of aggressive options available to the player. You soon learn that there are lots of hidden dangers just lurking in the depths and often just out of view. This makes pushing forward into a new area an incredibly tense experience, especially when you're playing on the game's hardcore mode where if you die, that's it, you gotta start again from the beginning. And that's just talking about the exploration on a horizontal plane. The game also limits the maximum depth you can explore through equipment, such as oxygen tanks, vehicle upgrades and more. So providing that you don't deliberately ignore everything that the game is doing, you should progress fairly nicely. One thing I did not expect when jumping in is just how terrifying this game can be, and to be clear, I am talking about terror here, not horror. So far the game has never attempted to scare me just for the sake of it. Most of the fear that I feel is psychological and not knowing what is lingering ahead through the murky waters, especially in the dead of night. Audio wise, the game nails it. You will often hear sea creatures well before you will actually get to see them, and when you actually do get eyes on, it's normally from a distance, giving you plenty of time to decide if you want to push forward or not. The thing that surprised me the most about Subnautica was that as soon as I thought I'd seen everything or I was getting further into the game, it would just always manage to expand. This video is only showing a fraction of what becomes available to you as you progress. I simply don't want to spoil any more than what I feel is absolutely necessary in order to get my point across. However, I do want to hint towards a few things, mainly because when I first played this game, I put it down before things really got interesting, because I had assumed that I had already experienced most of it and I was a little bit bored, to be honest. Had I had the info that I'm about to tell you guys, I think I would have continued pushing forward like I did this time. So here we go. There are tons of unique areas to explore, which is obvious. You will also get the ability to build your own bases, which you will do fairly early on, and eventually you will be able to build a huge submarine which you can pilot and use as a base. There are also alien structures to explore. You even get to explore multiple islands. You may even get infected and need to find a way to cure yourself. Going any deeper will be major spoilers, so just trust me when I say things get very interesting, and I can easily recommend this game to anyone that likes survival games, and even to those people that don't like survival games and just want a decent single player story. This game does it both. But anyway, with all that said, I want to quickly let you guys know that the developers are currently working on a standalone expansion by the name of Subnautica Below Zero that is set to hit early access sometime around the end of January 2019. So if you like the look of this, be sure to keep an eye out on that. Honestly, this was one of my biggest surprises of 2018, and I am certainly looking forward to whatever these developers do next, and I will likely be covering the Below Zero expansion when I can get my hands on it. So with that said, that is once again going to be me done for today. Be sure to like the video if you liked the video, and also slap that subscribe button and ding that bell to be notified of future videos. I have been Pixel, and from myself and all the guys over at Sapphire, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you later. Until next time, bye bye.